At this time, I would like to welcome our MC for this evening, Alan from 321 Sportscast. Please give him a round of applause.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's hard to believe we've been here for 3 years. This is our third year already. And before we get started, one of our original inductees is responsible, he and his great staff are responsible for the great food we enjoyed this evening. So how about a round of applause for Mike Acosta and Viera Pizza. Just hope there's some left to take home tonight. Yeah, all right. 2019, you know, since last I stood on this 2 years ago when I originally stood on this stage, I like to talk about Viera High School, and I often brag on Viera. In fact, I am often accused of bragging on Viera a little bit too much in my business. I'm supposed to be partial to other schools, but it's tough at times when you win as much as the Viera Hawks do and produce the caliber of talent that we see come out of this school. Since the doors opened in August of 2006, just since the last time I stood at this podium in 2017, since then, 2 years ago, since the original Hall of Fame, you've had 3 more regional champions, 23 more district champions, 11 more Cape Coast Conference champions, 2 more Florida Today Cape Coast Conference All Sports Trophy champions, and 1 more FHSAA Academic Team champions. That's quite an accomplishment. So how about a round of applause for Maggie Davis and the entire athletic department here at Viera High School. Now, I would also like to recognize, and we're going to bring up here, we're going to switch things up just a bit here. I want to bring to the stage now, representing Kurt Smith tonight, Brevard County Commissioner of District 4, Kurt Smith. Representing Kurt Smith is Adrian Schmedke, and she is going to read the proclamation for the Hall of Famers. And I'd also like to recognize Representative of the 52nd District, Thad Altman, as well here tonight.
Commissioner sends his regrets. He's out of town today. So I'm here on his behalf. When we found out that we had to fill in for the commissioner, I volunteered because one of the awards recipients this evening happened to train with my daughter for many, many years. So it's nice seeing Ryan being recognized tonight. I'm going to read this resolution here that was passed by the Board of County Commission this past Tuesday. Whereas Viera High School will host their Athletic Hall of Fame induction ceremony on Friday, January 10th, 2020, and as a result of their accomplishments, the following entities have been selected for enshrinement as members of the Viera High School Athletic Hall of Fame. Whereas a diver on the Viera High School swim dive team during the 2014-2017 season, Ryan Just was a 4-time Cape Coast Conference diving champion, 3-time district runner-up, and 2017 district champion, and 4-time state medal winner, taking 4th place 3 years in a row. All 4 years, he was undefeated against conference dive. Ryan also swam on the 2017 200 free relay team, which was Cape Coast Conference and district champions. And whereas Kevin Maul earned 10 letters in 3 sports and was a district, regional, and Cape Coast Conference champion, and all-state in the shot put. Florida Athletic Coaches Association All-District First Team and Player of the Year in football. Florida Today All-Space Coast First Team and Orlando Sentinel Mid-East Super 60. He was selected to the United States Army All-American Bowl Combined and received a full scholarship to Furman University. Kevin is now in the United States Air Force pilot training program. And whereas, as a swim coach for 13 years, Morgan Woodard built a program that won 10 district team championships, 2015 Girls Regional champions, 2016 and 2017 Girls Regional runner-up, and 2019 Girls Cape Coast Conference champions. Coach Woodard was also the coach for the National Ocean Sciences Bowl and won 3 National Ocean Bowl regional competitions and led students who traveled and competed in Corvallis, Oregon, placing 9th in the nation. She was awarded the 2009-2010 Cape Coast Conference Boys Swim Coach of the Year, 2015-2016, and 2018-2019 Cape Coast Conference Girls Swim Coach of the Year, Florida Today Coach of the Year for Boys in 2008 and Girls in 2016, 2017-2018 Viera High School Coach of the Year, and Viera High School Sportsmanship Award. And whereas, while Debbie Tweedy was the assistant swim coach, Viera High School had 10 district team championships, 2015 Girls Regional Champions, 2016 and 2017 Girls Regional Runner-Up, and 2019 Girls Cape Coast Conference Champions. Coach Tweedy started the Viera High School girls tennis team in 2006, who placed 3rd in districts in 2007, and was a district runner-up in 2008. She also coached the National Ocean Sciences Bowl, winning 3 National Ocean Bowl regional competitions, and competed in Corvallis, Oregon, placing 9th in the nation. And whereas United States Specialty Sports Association, USSSA, has given endless support for Viera High School athletics, opening their facilities to Viera High School softball and baseball programs. Their generosity has helped Viera High School programs to be as successful as they are. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Brevard County Board of County Commissioners does hereby congratulate the 2019 Viera High School Hall of Fame inductees and commend them for their outstanding examples they have set for the student athletes of today. Done, ordered, and adopted in regular session the 7th day of January 2020. This is for Viera High School to hang up in their awards. There you go.
Thank you. How about another round of applause here? All right. It is, when I found out that I would be able to MC this event this evening, the thing that excited me the most, aside from the athletes, was the opportunity to introduce tonight's keynote speaker. I've had an opportunity personally over the last couple of years to get to know him well, and he is what I think every American should aspire to be. Retired Lieutenant Colonel Tim Thomas. He's also the Viera High School Senior JROTC instructor. If you don't know about Colonel Tim Thomas, well, let me tell you a little bit about him. He gets to Brevard County by way of Quincy, Illinois, and Pensacola, Florida. He attended Tate High School and played football for legendary coach Carl Madison. And Coach Madison is ranked as one of the greats all time in the state of Florida in coaching. Graduated from Tate in 1983 and received a football scholarship to Marion Military Institute, where he was selected for the Army Early Commissioning Program. Upon his commissioning in 1985 as a second lieutenant, Tim served in the Alabama National Guard with the 20th Group Special Forces and the 117th Field Artillery Battalion while completing his degree at Auburn University in Montgomery. While at AUM, he worked as an intern for Republican gubernatorial candidate Guy Hunt, helping him become the first Republican governor of Alabama since Reconstruction. He graduated from AUM in 1987 with a Bachelor of Science degree in government and was selected for active duty service in the United States Army. As if that wasn't impressive enough, he spent 23 years in the Army with 2 combat tours in Iraq. And in 1998, Tim had the opportunity to do something that just is amazing. Tim was selected as one of the few Americans ever allowed access into North Korea. He and his search and recovery team were allowed into North Korea, where they recovered and repatriated the remains of 6 Army soldiers who were killed in North Korea during the Korean War. Why don't we just, before I finish, a round of applause for that alone, please. In 2002, Tim earned a master's degree in administration through Central Michigan University while attending the United States Army Command and General Staff College at Fort Leavenworth, Kansas. He retired as a lieutenant colonel at Patrick Air Force Base in 2010. Tim's awards and decorations include the Bronze Star, Defense Meritorious Service Medal. His achievements are numerous and the list is long. Upon his retirement in 2010, Upon retirement in 2010, Tim was immediately hired by Viera High School to start up an Army JROTC program. Tim is in his 7th year as the senior Army instructor at Viera High School with 253 cadets in the Army JROTC program, making it one of the largest in Brevard County. Tim is also very active in the community, supporting homeless veterans through Operation Stand Downs, and most recently helping students at Viera High School in securing passage of the All-America Flag Act. He is a member of the Association of the United States Army, the Military Officers Association of America Cape Canaveral Chapter, and the Republican Mentors Club of Brevard. The only issue you have with Tim is he's an Alabama fan. That's the only issue. Ladies and gentlemen, retired Lieutenant Colonel Tim Thomas.
Wow, thank you for that introduction, Alan. I need to hire him as a publicist. That was great, thank you. And welcome everybody to tonight's event. And I tell you, this has been awesome. All the entertainment that we had tonight prior to the start of our program, I mean, that was fantastic. From the singing of the choral group, the cheerleaders doing their thing as everybody came in, and this has been an awesome night so far. So let's give our singers and our cheerleaders a round of applause for everything that they've done. I mean, again, Alan, thank you for the introduction. And one thing I appreciate about Alan is I've had the opportunity to be interviewed by him a couple of times this past year. And Alan, he has so much passion and excitement for what he does. And you can see it when he interviews people. And it doesn't matter if he's interviewing Nick Saban, the head coach at the University of Alabama, or if he's interviewing a 10-year-old football player at Century Viera Community Football League. I mean, he shows that same passion and enthusiasm for everybody that he speaks to, and that's rare. And so, Alan, I thank you again for everything that you do, and that's why you're one of the best sports broadcasters in Central Florida, in my estimation. So thank you, sir. Let's give Alan a round of applause. It's always good to see Representative Thad Altman here, and just to kind of give you guys a heads up, I don't know, a lot of you probably weren't here during this time, but 2015, Thad was very instrumental in helping Matt, Susan, myself, and our very own Viera High School Army Junior ROTC cadets get the All-American Flag Act passed through the Florida legislature. That legislation basically mandated that all municipality, county, and state government buildings fly American flags that are made in the United States out of materials that are also made in the United States of America. And it keeps people from going out and purchasing, you know, copyrighted flags from China. And so, again, I appreciate the support of Thad Altman on that, and it wouldn't have happened without him being the co-sponsor of the bill. In addition to that, if y'all remember, Governor Rick Scott was actually here and signed that bill, signed that legislation right here on this stage. So again, Thad, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate what you do. And also for Kurt Smith's representative, that was here last year. Oh, there you are, man. Thank you. Kurt has been very instrumental in supporting veterans here in Brevard County, in addition to supporting Viera High School. Y'all might have heard that we had a very significant veteran, Major General John Cleland, that passed away 2 years ago. A retired Major General. He fought during World War II. He fought during the Korean War. He fought during the Vietnam War. Highly decorated, numerous Purple Hearts. The gentleman is in the Infantry Officer Hall of Fame at Fort Benning, Georgia. When he retired from the Army in the 1990s, he settled here in Brevard County, lived out at Indian River Colony Club, and was very active in supporting veteran events throughout the county, as well as other types of events. And so when he passed, I went to Kurt Smith and I said, Kurt, is there any way that we can have the Pineda Causeway renamed the Major General Retired John Cleveland Expressway? And so Kurt did some research, and he found out that the Florida Department of Transportation wouldn't allow that, but he had a better idea in naming the Pineda Flyover Bridge that's being constructed right now will be named the Major General John Cleveland Bridge once it's finished. So we look forward to the dedication ceremony. I know that's probably going to be toward the end of the year, so we look forward to that. And thank you, and thank Kurt for his support. So let's give them a round of applause, please. So ladies and gentlemen, why? Why are we here? Why are these dignitaries here? Why are all these people here tonight? And I can tell you, it's because you care about Viera High School, you care about the teachers, you care about the coaches, and you care about the students. You want to celebrate this huge accomplishment of being inducted into the Viera High School Hall of Fame. You know, this school is important to me as well, and I'm just going to give you a little bit of the history of how I came here to Viera High School. In 2009, I was coming to the end of my tour at Patrick Air Force Base, and so the Army was talking to me about my follow-on assignment, and the Army was wanting me to head to the Pentagon for a year to be the spokesperson for EO diversity and cultural competency, followed by another combat tour in Iraq. My oldest son at the time, Tommy, was a freshman here at Viera High School. He was a varsity soccer player. He loved the school here, and he told me, he said, "Dad, please, can't we just settle down? Can't we grow roots here? I'm tired of moving, and I want to finish my high school days here at Viera High School." And so, man, that's tough. When you hear that from your kid, you know, that's tough to turn down. So, needless to say, the very next day, I called my assignment officer and told him that I was not going to take the assignment to the Pentagon, and I was going to submit my retirement paperwork. After I did that, a few days later, I approached the principal, Mark Tormone, who was the principal at that time here at Viera High School, about starting up an Army Junior ROTC program. And he told me that he had submitted a request for an Army program, but was told by the Department of the Army it was probably going to be 3 to 4 years before he was going to receive funding for the Army. So I just asked him, I said, "Mr. Tormone, if I got you funding for the 2010-2011 school year, would you hire me to be the senior Army instructor here at Viera High School?" And he looked at me, and you can tell he thought there was no way this was going to happen. He said, "Oh yeah, absolutely." So game on, right? So the next day, I made a couple of calls up to the Department of the Army. I sent a couple of emails, and within a few short days, we had Viera High School moved up on the Order of Merit list to be funded for the 2010-2011 school year. And so he hired me to be the senior Army instructor, and immediately once I was hired, I went to FIT, and there was a master sergeant down there by the name of Michael Sonnenschein, and I knew he had just put in his retirement paperwork. I asked Michael to come out here and be my co-instructor with me to start up the program. So Michael was with me for 5 years. He left to go to Haiti to be a missionary, and then I picked up Sergeant Major Robert Wilson, who was also just coming off active duty 5 years ago as a recruiter, and asked him to come out and be my co-instructor, and that's who I've had for the last 5 years, and both of those guys have just done an excellent job in being my right-hand person. We have averaged about 200 cadets or more each of the 10 years that we've been in existence. So far, over 2,000 cadets have gone through the program. We average about 40 seniors every year, and out of that, usually 6 or 7 get national ROTC scholarships, and a few more of those get also appointments to one of the service academies. And then we have another 12 to 13 that enlist. So half of our senior population usually elect to pursue service to our country after graduation. That's one thing that we've been very, very proud about. Now, during my 10 years here, I've also had the opportunity to work with some of the most dynamic and caring people, like coaches Debbie Tweedy and Morgan Woodward. What a tremendous legacy that they leave behind with establishing Viera High School as one of the most dominant swim and dive teams in the state for the last 13 years. Not to mention the numerous personal awards they have both achieved. But most importantly, the impact that they've had on the athletes that they have coached, like Ryan Just, who is also being inducted into the Hall of Fame tonight. Ryan, congratulations to you. You know, I also appreciate the love and admiration and mutual respect that they display to each other as a mother and daughter team. It's truly inspirational, and it really shows what a healthy mother-daughter relationship looks like. So again, I'm so happy to see you guys inducted in the Hall of Fame tonight. Great job. Yeah, go ahead, give them a round of applause. You know, I've also had the wonderful opportunity to get to know Kevin Maul. And Kevin just has one of these winning dispositions. You know, a great athlete, probably Viera High School football's first blue chip prospect, but most importantly, a great student and one of the most kind and most courteous young men that you'll ever want to meet. And so I'm very happy that Kevin's going to be going in. Also, Mr. Maul, I think Mr. Maul, I see you over. Mr. Maul, good to see you. And just a quick story about Mr. Maul. When I first took over here at Viera High School, we had a Raider meet here, and I was trying to paint lines on the fields out there for our little track meet that we were having. So I didn't have a paint machine, I didn't have paint. So I saw Mr. Maul, and I knew that he painted the fields for the football team and asked him to help me out. And he did that. Not only that, but he painted a really cool Army signature on our start-finish line that really looked cool, and it was in black and gold and outlined in white, and it was really neat. So Mr. Maul, never forgot that. Thank you, and I'm very proud to see you tonight as well. Also, ASSSA, congrats and thank you for the community partnership and allowing Viera High School TV production students to train and operate on state-of-the-art equipment at the stadium. And one of my cadets, Gavin Keith, has benefited from that partnership, and I look forward to watching him one day be the producer of Monday Night Football. And for all of us old-timers here, there was an ABC producer by the name of Roone Arledge. I remember Roone Arledge that produced Monday Night Football, and I can see Gavin Keith going on and being that type of producer. He has those type of skills. And so again, FSSA, thank you again for providing that opportunity for our kids. You know, the Army is a great institution, and it's still one of the most respected by the American people, and it's a values-based organization that stresses the values of loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. And these values are emphasized to our JRTC cadets every day. But these are also values that we all should be modeling to our kids as parents, teachers, and coaches. And I can tell you the most impactful people in my life that molded me were my parents and my high school football coach, Carl Madison. My dad was an ordained minister in the Assemblies of God denomination and was a minister of music. My dad could be tough when he had to be, so I had great respect for him. But at the same time, I knew that he loved me unconditionally, and I could talk to him. I could talk to him about anything. In fact, he was always my best friend. After football games, I would occasionally go out and hang out with my teammates, but I would much rather go out and eat with my dad and us recap the game. My dad was proud of me. That meant the world to me. He wasn't just there. He was invested in everything that I was doing. There were times in my childhood when my dad was still young in the ministry and we struggled financially. So my dad had to take a second job building cabinets in a cabinet shop so he could pay bills while my mom worked in retail. There were lots of dinners during that time frame that included Minute Maid spaghetti, biscuits, and a glass of milk. But my parents were always grateful for what we had, and they taught me to be grateful as well. They never griped or complained about what we didn't have. They just got up every day and they went to work, and always thankful to the Lord for what we did have. My dad and mom modeled the values of loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage long before I stepped foot into the Army. The Army just reinforced those values to me. My football coach, Carl Madison at Tate High School in Pensacola, was also very influential in my life. He is a coaching legend, as Alan said, and has an impressive 326 wins, 129 losses, 7 ties during the 45 years he coached, including 5 state championships and 1 national championship. He is number 2 on Florida's all-time coaching victories behind Corky Rogers, and he wasn't a very big man, but as mean as a snake and a disciplinarian. He taught me a lot about work ethic, overcoming adversity, and perseverance. Back during those days, water breaks were for after practice. I have often told friends there are very few things tougher in life than enduring 2-a-day football practices in 100-degree heat under Coach Madison. Every day was a contact day, and we beat the crap out of each other. That experience with Coach Madison gave me the mental toughness to endure some pretty tough situations during my life, including 2 combat tours in Iraq and a near-death experience on an airborne training exercise when I was a lieutenant. He also taught me that life is about competing, so every day you have to give life your very best effort to ensure you get the promotions, you get the pay raises. I know that sounds cold to some, but folks, that's reality. That's real. In closing, I would like to say every one of us that are here tonight are leaders. As leaders, we provide three very important things to those that we lead. We provide purpose, direction, and motivation. Purpose, meaning the reason why we do something. The direction provides the how, and the motivation provides the inspiration, the drive, and the desire needed to ensure the task is accomplished. All three of these are important, but how we motivate someone is often an art because it's not a one-size-fits-all proposition. For some, it might be encouraging words and a pat on the back. For others, it might be raising your voice and challenging them to raise the bar. On others, it might be a combination of the two. That's why nights like tonight need to be celebrated. We should recognize those who have clearly distinguished themselves from their peers and inspire those around them to reach for the stars and be the very best that they can be. Thank you so much for inviting me to speak tonight. It's been an honor. God bless America, and God bless our troops that are deployed in harm's way right now. Thank you.
Another round of applause for Colonel Tim Thomas. I would like to invite to the stage now Representative Thad Altman to say a few words. A round of applause for Representative Altman.
Well, Tim is a jewel. We're so fortunate to have him a part of this community. You know, Viera is a special place. Back in the days when I was a county commissioner was when we created the community, Viera. And a lot of people didn't think we could do it. And so when I come to these events, this is actually one of the favorite things I come to because it's the fruition of a dream, of a community that evolved out of a pasture that had a lot of opposition, believe it or not. And to see the incredible talent and the skill and the community that this high school has is just so fulfilling to me. So thank you for allowing me to be a part of it. I always love it when Alan's an MC too. He does so much great for our youth sports. And I love the performance. You know, I don't know, maybe we'll have a Hall of Fame for performing arts here, included in the sports too, but it's a great opportunity to be here. This is a special place, and keep up the good work, Viera.
Thank you, Representative Altman. And before we move on to this year's inductees, I think we'd be remiss if I at least didn't go back and mention the class of 2017, Luke Zippy, Katie Stengel, the 2010 girls golf 2A state champions, Ty Cartmel, Mike Acosta, Sasha Balaya, and the 2016 girls soccer 4A state champions. Our 2018 class, Courtney Lundy, Greg Young, David McKay, the girls 2016-17 state champions, the girls soccer 2015 state champions, Sarah Rousseau, I apologize, and the Viera company that Representative Altman, the Viera company, very much responsible for Viera. So I'd like to welcome to the stage now, it is, I'm bringing up Adrian Schmecky. Okay, Maggie? Yes. Maggie Davis, the athletic director. I looked over, saw everybody standing up. I was like, who's coming where?
Hey guys, I did not have the opportunity to introduce myself earlier, but I am Maggie Davis. I'm the athletic director at Viera High School, and I am so thankful to have all of you here this evening. We are going to start by showing off all of our great assets at Viera High School by honoring every one of you guys. So the first up is going to be Kevin Maul. Kevin Maul is unable to join us this evening because he is off serving his country, so his father is going to come on his behalf. So I'm going to read a little bit about Kevin. There's stuff up there talking about all the things that he's accomplished here at Viera High School in his life after Viera. I actually was a graduate of Viera High School in 2012. I was lucky enough to have Kevin as a classmate. We were very close friends, so this is one that's really close to my heart. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Kevin, and then we have a student athlete over here, Jamari, who's going to give the awards to Mr. Maul. Kevin Maul began his high school sports career at Cocoa Beach High School. You guys are going to hear stuff 3 times, 4 times in a row, but you know, tonight's the night to let your heads be big, and so listen and be proud. Kevin Maul began his high school career at Cocoa Beach High School, where he lettered in varsity baseball and football in 7th and 8th grade. Moving to VHS as a 9th grader, he played varsity baseball and played on the undefeated freshman football team. As a sophomore, Kevin made the switch from baseball to track and field to concentrate on strength and speed training. His dedication and change in training regimen led him to 2 top throwing awards, a district and regional championship, and a Cape Coast Conference championship in shot put. As a junior, Kevin was all-state in shot put, and as a senior, finished in the top 10 in the state, while wearing a cast on his broken leg. In football, Kevin played both ways for 3 years of varsity. As a junior, he was invited to perform in the United States Army All-American Bowl Combine. He's currently in the United States Air Force, but he was always serving his country in some form. In senior year, as a co-captain, Kevin suffered a season-ending injury during the 8th game of season. Despite his injury, he led the team in tackles, was selected as the Orlando Sentinel Mid-East Super 60 team and the Florida Today All-Space Coast First Team. He was also named FACA First Team All-District Tight End and was selected by the coaches in the FACA District 7A District 11 Player of the Year. Kevin broke the ice for VHS football and was accepted for the first full-ride Division I football scholarship at Furman University in South Carolina. There he played tight end for 4 years and earned a degree in accounting. Kevin currently serves for the United States Air Force, completed his pilot training, and is serving our nation as a commissioned officer in Pennsylvania Air National Guard. Kevin Maul.
We got a hold of our son earlier. We don't talk to him enough, like all you parents know. It's a little bit tougher even when they're in the military. He said he really wishes he could have been here. We did get to see him at Christmas for a few days, so that was awesome. He wanted me to thank, as a good college athlete, they teach him right away, if anybody ever sticks a mic in your face, first you thank your teammates and then you thank your coaches. So he said thanks to all his teammates and all his coaches. He had a different head coach every year here at Viera. Those were real tough times for football back then, and numerous sports. We were building a school, and I was glad to be involved with Chris Gallagher a lot. And Maggie, of course, was a student at the time. She was an awesome athlete, obviously. But we're real proud of Kevin, and it's nice to be here. I wish he could be here too. He has graduated from pilot training. He's currently learning how to fly tankers, Boeing KC-135s, and then I believe the first week of February he'll be in the mountains of Washington State in survival training. So I do remember painting the Army sign on the field for the competition. I was going to paint an Air Force sign also, but I didn't have any blue. So it's great seeing Tim and all the coaches, and thank you to the cheerleaders and the American Idol contestants. You guys are great. You're all going to Hollywood. So thank you.
Another round of applause. It's hard to believe that the football program actually once did struggle here, but that is true. See, Jamari, there were times when it was tough. To present our next Hall of Fame inductee is going to be a former diver, Dylan Paris.
Okay, so Ryan Just was a 4-time Cape Coast Conference champion diver from 2014 to 2017. He was a 4-time state qualifier, and he medaled in each of his state appearances. He finished 8th his freshman year and finished 4th his sophomore, junior, and senior year. He was 3-time district runner-up and was district champion in 2017. He was undefeated in all 4 years against conference divers and dualies, which is me. In addition to diving, Ryan also swam 50-meter free and competed with the 200 free relay team. And his 200 free relay team were Cape Coast Conference and district champions in 2017. And Ryan also served as a captain for the swimming and dive team his senior year. Not only has Ryan been an incredible teammate, but also an amazing friend. In any case scenario, Ryan has always pushed me to do my best, and I'm extraordinarily grateful for him and his family. Without further ado, please welcome Ryan Just.
All right, well, like he said, when mic gets thrown in your face. First off, I want to say thank you to everybody that was involved. Yeah, diving is an individual sport, but I got to tell you, I couldn't be standing up here without everybody being involved. My 2 coaches, and how awesome it is that I get to be up here tonight getting inducted alongside with them. The great things they did for me, pushed me all 4 years. All my teammates, everybody sitting out here tonight that saw it, was a part of it. My relay, some of my relay team is here tonight too, which is awesome. And then, yeah, my best friend, Dylan. Teammate, best friend, brother. He's done everything for me. All 4 years, he pushed me to be my best. I pushed him to be his best. You know, we were at the pool countless hours together. You know, I can't tell you how much we put in together with each other and with our coach and everything like that. Our coach can't be here tonight, Bill Talbot, but he's a big part of it as well. But the biggest thank you is to my parents. You know, they spent a lot of time, they gave up a lot of sacrifices to get me to the pool deck, to make sure I was doing the best I could do, along with them doing the best they could do. So, thank you, Mom and Dad.
Everybody keeps leaving their notes. I keep reading their notes. What's going on? I had an opportunity, and I do apologize, earlier this season when we launched 321 Sports because we wanted to cover all sports. And we really wanted to get involved with covering swimming. And I think we did that a little bit this year, but I was really sorry that we were just 1 year too late to be able to cover the teams of our next inductees. And here to present our next inductees are current swimmers, Kennedy Hewitt and Caroline Maley.
Good evening, everyone. Morgan and Debbie started the Viera High School swim team in August of 2006 when the school first opened and stayed the coaches for the first 13 seasons. Debbie was the first head coach for the program and Morgan was the assistant swim coach. In 2007, Morgan took over as head swim coach and Debbie became the assistant coach. During the 13 seasons of coaching at Viera High School, the mother-daughter pair won 10 district team championships between the boys and girls swimming. The girls team was the 2015 regional champions and were also regional runner-ups in 2016 and 2017. In the 2018 through 2019 season, the VHS girls swim team became Cape Coast Conference team champions for the first time in school history after placing top 3 for 3 years prior. Before leaving the school, the duo had 6-time consecutive girls district championship wins. Morgan has won a few coaching awards during her tenure at Viera High School. She was Cape Coast Conference Boys Swim Coach of the Year for 2009 through 2010 and was named Cape Coast Conference Girls Swim Coach of the Year for the 2015 through 2016 and 2018 through 2019 seasons. She was named the Florida Today Coach of the Year for boys swimming in 2008 and the Florida Today Coach of the Year for girls swimming in 2016. During the 2017 through 2018 school year, she was named the Viera High School Coach of the Year. She was also awarded the Viera High School Sportsmanship Award in 2018 through 2019. Even though Morgan's name was on all of these awards, it was a team effort with her mom, Debbie Tweedy, who was there every step of the way. Morgan and Debbie also were the initial coaches for the National Ocean Sciences Bowl team at Viera High School. The NOSB team is an academic team that competes against other high schools in the region in a Jeopardy-style competition with questions that all relate to the oceans. They continued the program for 9 years and attended the regional competition. The past 3 years, the Viera High School NOSB team has won the regional competition and has attended the national competition held around the country. The students have traveled and competed in Corvallis, Oregon, where they placed 9th in the nation. They've also competed in Boulder, Colorado, and Washington, D.C., where they placed top 20 in the nation. Morgan and Debbie had great success with this team, as they had a large number of students take Marine Science 1 and 2 honors at the high school. They also offered field trips to Marine Science in Key Largo, Florida, for students to get hands-on experience in the mangrove and coral reef ecosystems. Debbie retired from teaching at Viera High School in 2015 after 36 total years in the teaching profession. She continued to coach the swim team and ocean bowl team after she retired. Debbie started the Viera High School girls tennis team in 2006. In 2007, the team placed 3rd at districts, and in 2008, they were runner-ups. Debbie's coaching career started in 1978 in Everglades City, Florida, where she coached girls volleyball and tennis. Debbie also coached swimming at Venice High School as the assistant coach from 1999 through 2006 before transferring over to Viera High School. Within both teams, Morgan and Debbie have installed a sense of family and commitment after giving less than 100%. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Caroline. I was fortunate enough to get to swim under Coach Woodard and Coach Tweedy for 3 years. For starters, I would like to say that Coach Woodard was one of the most influential people in my life while at Viera High School, and I really mean it. My sophomore and junior years were by far the hardest points of high school, and I honestly relied on Coach Woodard for guidance and as someone to lean on. When faced with tough decisions, Coach never caved and is one of the strongest people I know. I have never seen someone lead a team with so much love and motivation, and I fully believe that any victory the team accomplished, large or small, was all because of the joy for swimming Coach Woodard and Coach Tweedy brought on the deck. I'm sure that being the daughter of another strong coach helped Coach Woodard blossom as well. Without Coach Tweedy, the team depth would just not have been as strong. Back in 2006, Coach Tweedy established a family's atmosphere within Viera Swim Dive, and since then it has never left. Now, year after year, new swimmers join the swim team solely because of the strong family bond we all share. I'm sure that I don't just speak for myself when I say that I owe part of my swimming successes to these incredibly inspiring ladies. There are no two people who deserve this recognition more than Coach Woodard and Coach Tweedy. So thank you for all that you've done for Viera Swim and Dive, and thank you for being the most amazing role models. We all love you, and please welcome Coach Woodard and Coach Tweedy.
I want to thank all the past coaches that we have in the audience today. We couldn't have done it without you guys. I'm a crier, so I usually don't make it through my introductions, I think. But I do want to send out a special thank you to Jamie Risberg, who had enough faith in us. When I was hired, she said, you can have the job if you'll coach the tennis team and the swimming. And I said, well, can I have my daughter on deck to help me? And my little grandson's over there. And at that time, Morgan was only a senior at Florida Tech. And Jamie looked at me and she goes, well, she's awfully young to be on the pool deck. And I said, she goes, as long as you're there with her, yeah, she can do it. So our first year, we had a lot of fun. Yes, 9th and 10th graders. And we were not allowed to go to Cape Coast Conference that first year. because we were new to the system. But we did the following year, and we kind of beat everybody, almost everybody. But we finally did. The following year, I said, Morgan, it's yours. She goes, no, Mom. I said, no, it's yours. And since then, she's been amazing.
So, I've been surrounded by athletes my whole entire life. My parents got me started in sports when I was 5. I can. And hopefully, and we've had college athletes. Both my parents are college athletes. I was a college athlete. My little guy down there, fingers crossed, knock on wood, college athlete. But one thing that I've been told my whole entire life is kind of the family joke is that we show our appreciation through sports. And I've always had amazing role models. And one thing that Colonel Thomas said, life is a competition. You have to be humble and you have to be driven and kind, but life is a competition. And if you come out on top and you are the strong person and you have loyalty and you respect your teammates, then that's what life is all about. So my mom and dad have been an amazing role model. We started our family atmosphere back in 2006, and the fact that we have almost 15 swimmers in this audience tonight, and that we had 2 alumni come back and coach with us, just shows how much we are a part of your lives. And high school swimming is, it's a unique sport. We're a stepchild sport, if you want to say it. But we bond together. We are a family atmosphere. We give it our all, whether times are tough or times are awesome, and you come out on top. So thank you to my parents for being my role models, for being my coach, and for allowing the next generation and future swimmers to just keep on blossoming as amazing student athletes in the future. So thank you for this honor. It has been amazing to have the first 13 seasons as the Viera High School coach for swimming and diving. Thank you guys so much.
You know, I had given the amount of, well, another round of applause for Coach Coach. I can remember asking Coach Beadle this year how are you going to replace? And she just, you know, in an interview, and she just looked at me like, did you really just ask me that question? But no, great job by the swim team this year again. Did you win a district championship? You did, yes. I did win a district championship, so congratulations. But I had given the amount of district championships that Viera High School has won since the last time, since 2017. But I think it's worth just pointing out how many in all that the school has won. 89 district championships and 37 Cape Coast Conference. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. 23 more than 2 years ago, and I still just shake my head at the success and wonderment that this program has here. It's difficult to start a program, a sports program, and win. I mean, look at the Cleveland Browns. I mean, they came back in 1998, and they're still having problems winning today. So it is really amazing to watch what this program has accomplished. And I'd also like to give a shout out to cheer coach Cheryl Dravis, because any event that you attend, whether it's football game, the Hall of Fame, those cheerleaders are there with a smile on their face and greeting people that come in. I saw them at the breast cancer walk. They were phenomenal there. At 7 o'clock in the morning, the Friday night after a football game, Coach Dravis had them there. So how about a round of applause for Coach Dravis and her cheerleaders as well. So we are to our final induction of the evening, and before we get to our final induction of the evening, I wanted to also commend Gavin Keith, Colonel, because I've had the opportunity to work with Gavin a lot. And I can tell you that Gavin is not only the best producer of any age group in this county, and I mean, I can't do the things that Gavin can do, and you see Caleb standing down here, and we both learned a lot from Gavin. So anything that you see for Viera High School, video-wise, chances are it's Gavin Keith. So how about a round of applause for Gavin Keith? Our final inductee tonight is going to be a very welcomed member of this community, and that's going to be USSSA. I'd like to welcome in their CEO here tonight as well, Donnie Dianatis III, tonight. And to help me with the induction of USSSA is going to be skipper for the Viera Hawks baseball team, Bob Doty, who, oh, by the way, he's won 150 of 221 games since he took over. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Doty.
I'm honored to be here tonight to present the USSSA tonight into the hall. In 1989, Kevin Costner played an Iowa farmer, hearing voices asking him to build a baseball field. Most of you would remember that as Field of the Dreams, and it became one of the most cherished baseball movies of our time. And there's a scene in that movie where the ghost of shoeless Joe Jackson steps out of the cornfield to play baseball on a freshly manicured AstroTurf field. After the game, Shoeless asked Ray Kinsella, played by Kevin Costner, if this is heaven. And Ray says, no, it's just Iowa. Well, I got to tell you this, every time I take the field at USSSA as a coach, and I know our players think the same thing, is this heaven? What a wonderful place to play baseball and softball. USSSA, the United States Specialty Sports Association, is a sports governing body and nonprofit organization based in Viera, Florida at Space Coast Stadium. Throughout the 3 years they've been present in this community, they have made an everlasting impact on Viera High School athletics through multiple facets. USSSA community partnership has been an integral part of the success of our program, as they have provided their facilities free of charge while also affording our TV production students the opportunity to work with state-of-the-art technology, providing a bridge between academics and extracurricular activities. They have left an incomparable footprint on our school while also drastically changing the game of football, baseball, and softball in our community. With the AstroTurf at Viera Regional Football Fields and the expanding of their headquarters at Space Coast Stadium, Viera has become the go-to location for travel sports, which has created opportunities for Viera High School to benefit from these athletes moving to Viera in order to be given the opportunity to play in the finest facilities in the state and gain exposure for hopes of continuing at the next level. We hope to keep this partnership moving forward and continue to watch it grow through other aspects of our schools outside athletics, in fact, the sports medicine program perhaps, and again, TV productions. Tonight, to show our appreciation and honor, we welcome USSSA.
First of all, I'd just like to start out by congratulating all the other inductees that went in tonight. Sounds like obviously this is, it's just great to be a part of this. We appreciate being recognized in the community. When we came here, the latter end of 2017, USSSA was looking for a home, somewhere to hang our hat on. And the cool thing about USSSA is that we provide an opportunity for all forms of athletes, male, female. Some people don't know, I mean, we can start at the age of 5, and we offer a senior softball up through the age of 80 and over. So that exists. They do play ball and travel around the country at 80 years old and over playing. So we have a special military program that we run throughout the United States, and then we actually have our military World Series down here at Space Coast with 140 slow pitch teams from 28 different states, 3 different countries. Again, that's the cool thing about USSSA and being here in Viera, the opportunity to kind of use our platform and reach to bring in events that, that these people play year-round in whatever state they're in, and to kind of have a crown jewel like this at our disposal to be able to expose is a great opportunity for us. And then, that being said, a big part of it is driving people here from out of state, out of the country, but even as big, if not bigger part is we're a part of this community. The majority of our staff moved here from either Kissimmee, Central Florida, somewhere, and myself, my family's here. We got twins that are 5 years old that will be going to school here, hopefully standing up here, going into this great Hall of Fame. It sounds like there's a lot of tradition, and we're just so happy to be a part of it. And partnership, growth, long term. We plan on being here a long time, and the more that we can do to help you guys grow, again, makes it a true partnership together. So I'd like to take a second to recognize Emily Moak for her leadership at Space Coast, and Nick Moorhead for kind of the boots on the ground. You see Nick out there, he could be doing 100 different things. It's interesting to hear Gavin Keith's name so much, because I would also tell you he's the smartest person at USSSA as well, and that's probably not far-fetched. So Gavin, shout out to you for everything that you've done for us. So once again, appreciate you guys and being recognized here tonight. Definitely humbled to be a part of this, but like I said, and I've heard so many times, is the cool thing about sports is it brings people together. The camaraderie, the bonds that are created. There's times I can't remember what I did 3 hours ago, but I can tell you what I did when I was 12 years old in a baseball game playing in Tarkio, Missouri. And that's the kind of memories and things that are awesome with sports. And it's building relationships, it's lifelong friends that you can go 10 years without seeing, but you have that special bond. And that's like I said, the cool part. And again, using our platform that we have to continue to provide opportunities for, kids, adults, all shapes and sizes. And again, we want to continue to do that. And once again, we could not be happier to call Viera home and to have a great partnership with you guys here at Viera High School. So thank everybody here, and congrats again on all the other inductees, and everyone have a great evening. Thank you.
All right, before we wrap up, I wanted to acknowledge and thank Athletic Director Maggie Davis. Funny story, when Maggie took the job as the athletic director, I asked several coaches, well, who's the new athletic director? I heard a lot about her. She's going to hit a home run. It is not easy to be an athletic director at a high school, any high school. Maggie, you've done a terrific job. Congratulations on this event and many, many more like it, on producing great athletic programs here at Viera. I know the tradition will continue. So how about another round of applause for Maggie? And if we could, please have our inductees please stand up one last time and take a bow, please, ladies and gentlemen. If we could. Ryan Just, Morgan Woodard, and Deborah Tweedy, Donnie Dionis III from USSSA. Congratulations and welcome to the Viera Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, have a safe evening. Thank you, Representative Thad Altman. Thank you, Adrian Schmedke, Representative for Kurt Smith. Have a great evening, everybody. Thank you for coming.